What's up? This is Sliim Bambino, aka Bam Seagal, Ryder Beretta, Zuwab, Prince of the Pound, Duke of the Bounce, Pink Panther, Rahman Rizza, whoever you want me to be. Cooper Jacobs. You're watching the Arts of the Month, Nothin But Hits. Shout out to Puerto Rico.
From the lights of red and blue tint. Work your body, ho.
This ain't a drill no more. Yeah, I came to kill the dance flow. Yeah, I came to make it go oh. Drop frame, pop it down low. My game be too loud, my aim is too high to blame my confidence though. And go.
Work, get your money, buy new.
Good to see you, my guy. Yeah. First off, for the people who don't know, where are you from and who are you?
I'm from the Bay Area, a little bit east of the city.
And then, so when did you get started in music?
My first memory was in 5th grade. Miss Piskowski's class. We did, it's not homographs, I forget what the term was, but we did, it's a rhyme schemes. So it was A, B, C. So I remember writing my first one. And then that year, my mom bought me the La Below speaker box.
Classic.
Yep. And then I danced in the talent show, Hey So that's when I got into, I wasn't making beats at that point. I think I was 9. And then from that point on, it was just writing. And then I started producing when I was 14. My mom got me an MPC 4000.
And then from there, it sounds like you just naturally kind of fell into it, just from like you saw the interest early and you're just like, oh, well, how are they making this stuff?
Yeah.
And then you just really kind of started getting in the swing of it. It wasn't like, oh, I tried this, I didn't really like it, went to this. You just knew you kind of hooked from the start.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I did as a kid was a dancer. I danced, and I worked for the Warriors briefly, and I just loved music, but I didn't realize I loved making it until that first, like I said, I forget the term, but homograph is the word that comes to mind. So
yeah.
How I was introduced to Outkast was, I used to, every Saturday, I would lay on my parents' ground and watch Saturday Night Live. On November 2nd, 2003, this dude with the big ass afro and suspenders came out and did Hey it was Andre. And not to sound like it's a storybook or something, but that was the moment that I realized I wanted to do music.
And from that too, so how that was your start, when you say it's like, okay, you officially had the switch, no, I'm going to be doing music. Not just have it as a hobby, it's cool, I love it and everything, but
Yeah, well, like I said, I had the MPC, but it didn't come with built-in drums, and it's like a computer.
Right.
Everyone knows what an MPC looked like. So you had a CD drive, and I only had this J Dilla pack. It was, this is CDs, so I remember I only had one. And then it's right when GarageBand came out. And then I remember I started making beats that way because they had a whole library. I still remember the first beat I made on that, and that's when I was like, all right, I'm pretty good, because I just had a sense for it.
I would say with that, would you say that kind of pushed you? It just kind of
For sure.
almost be put a chip on your shoulder, damn, this one didn't hit, fuck that, I want to go until, I get it good.
Yeah, doubt has driven me to this day.
That's why you have 5, 6, 7 projects on the way. And
They're ready.
If you weren't even hearing the first one yet, coming this month, June.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's a big deal. Jay-Z to me is everything. He's my god. Legitimately. There's a song on the album called Holly Ho. It's when he was 26, he dropped Reasonable Doubt on June 25th. I turned 26 last weekend, and I'm dropping my debut album on June 25th, so that's why it's an important date for me as well. But the little tidbit that he said was, the most important album you'll ever make is your debut album, because you've been making it for your entire life up until that point. Disregard the fact that the vast majority of the tracks on the album I made within the last year, just because I got into a rhythm, some shit happened and inspired me. But it is really the thing you've been working on your whole life. The next album is I've been working on them all simultaneously, so it's a little different, but at the same time, it really has that weight of it's finally here. Even when I dropped my EP, I mean, most of them had already been released, but it was still kind of, I was bawling because it was just wow, I finally did it. I've been making music since I was 9, 8.5 years old. It feels kind of surreal, as overdrawn as that sounds, to finally have it coming.
Well, so that's kind of real though, because with Bastards, like you said, you've been working so long as a kid, you knew from the start you were into it.
Yeah.
But then I always think of it as too, just once you finally put something out to share with the world, that's what makes it real, you know?
Yeah.
Just like you could be, you know, by yourself, have an entire catalog, but once you really start sharing with people and like, oh wait, like people actually playing my song, oh like, oh I have a show coming, oh like, you know, that's the real part of it.
Yeah. That's the other thing too, is I always, one of my main things, for the longest time, my main thing was, you know, like I said, I've always had a desire to please other people and make people happy and all that stuff. I think that's a problem with, like, nowadays, the idea of, like, your work mattering has kind of dissipated. It's more about the financial gain and kind of there's no superstars anymore. Brad Pitt and George Clooney, they were superstars, right? Madonna was a superstar. Prince was a superstar. Right? There's thousands of people, millions probably at this point, of people who have 20 million followers on Instagram I've never heard in my life. And you know, I'm in the loop on a lot of stuff. So quality and the amount of effort put into making a project that matters has dissipated, you know?
Definitely. I mean, too, just kind of with the social media age and everything, everything's been about, you know, get it out quick. Let's make something like a big flash in people's face, and then we'll get a lot of likes and comments, and then, well, what's after that? Like, you know, what are you really putting out? But like you're saying, you know.
But you just gotta focus on yourself and just, another Jay-Z bit, ultimate confidence.
That's what it is, being confident in yourself.
It's energy.
Just like, you know, it's like, you're doing this stuff because you love it so much.
Right.
And then if you're gonna be, you know, putting it out, making music and all that stuff, like, at that point you have to be, you know, like, yeah, this is me. 100%, like, nothing to hide.
And it matters, you know, the work matters to me too, so, I mean, I'm a quality over quantity guy, and I learned that from people like D'Angelo. It's just a different world nowadays, so you kind of have to switch it up in how you approach.
And it's a trusted, developed ear of listening to hit makers.
Right.
I mean, kind of with us too, just like how you talk about the quality of everything too. It's like with Nothing But Hits. Our thing is, dude, we don't care, you know, you have these big artists making huge numbers, but yet, and the song on the radio and everything, but it's not a great song. It's just got that industry push behind it. But yet, somebody else, you know, like this, who could be the bedroom producer, you know, and they made an incredible song, yet, you know, but that didn't get shone because it was behind the label. Our thing is to bring that out. It's like, no, forget all the big, you know, the big motion picture stuff. It's like, just listen to the music. Forget the name, the artist, like, how does it sound, like, the quality of it.
Yeah, I opened the second verse on that Holly Hova track. I said, how many rappers or rollies you gotta take to prove that what they holding is rent to the rather fate? The radio play only the tracks that sound the same. Well, I guess it's piece of shit we promoting, so who's to blame? So it's partially everybody's fault, including myself, because I like some radio hits.
Right.
Drake's got all types of radio hits. He's a cornball when it comes to being a Raptors fan. He makes good music. So it's just finding that balance.
You break that down into a panic room?
Yeah.
What's the acronym?
Picturing a night of chaos, realizing our own mistakes.
That's some deep shit.
Yeah. And that's what it is. It's where we live in a panic room. No matter where you go, there's no gray area. So it's red and blue, and it goes back to me being bipolar and all that. My whole life's red and blue. My whole life has never had nuance. So, you know, on the EP, my eyes are red and blue, and, you know, liberal, conservative, it can mean anything. But there's no middle ground in anything we do.
Like I'm JD, impossible, I do it in a day. Oh, while I smoke perp by the pound, ounce by the fit. Re-up on the first and again on the fifth. Most y'all are clowns, and me, I'm the prince of the pound. Boy, you better check the sound for the record light. Atlanta made us what we are now. Better check the tone where you speaking on the guys now. GZ tip stacked, everybody who be on now.